That is the sound of absolutely nothing. Brand new and very good. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Supercar Diaries. I am super thankful to be back. I've been away on the other side of the planet for about 2 to 3 months, having a little bit of a break. Thank you so much to Josh and to Maurice for keeping the channel alive, and thank you to each and every one of you guys for staying put. Now, let's talk about the Spectre. The infamous key test. No rattly noises. And rather good looking. So what have we as Spofec done to this car? Well, similar to with Novitec, where you have the stage 1 where they do the wheels and suspension and the exhaust. That's what we've done here, bar the exhaust, because we don't need to bother with that on an electric car. The wheels over here, SP3 24-inch. The first time we saw these on the Phantom Series 2 in that video, and that's why I wanted to film this car at exactly the same location. That was the moment where everybody freaked out and said, wow, look at those wheels, and they are super popular with us. And so it was just befitting to put them onto this one, filling up those wheel arches really nicely, because this car also has a lowering kit from Spofec. That means the ride height is adjustable. With these wheels, we've decided to lower the car by 25 millimeters. We just feel that it's a really good ride height for the car, and it fits the wheels really nicely. Now we're going to put in a picture right now that Josh took when you much lower than the 25 millimeters, and I think that looks fantastic as well. Obviously you can still combine that with different wheels and so on and so forth. That is your prerogative. Even if you knew nothing about the battery or the fact that it's electric, you would still be able to recognize this as a Rolls-Royce, in my opinion, because it's just evidentially very large, very prominent, and of course the nose with this infamous Pantheon grille. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about, because this is the largest grille that they have ever fitted to a Rolls-Royce. And then of course we've got the Emily over here that has also received a makeover, 830 hours of it. It's something that Rolls-Royce has been doing since 1904, so every couple of years they would revamp and change the Emily ever so slightly. And in this case, she looks gorgeous. She is illuminated as well, just like the grille over here. And talking about design cues, let's look at this car from the side. Still unmistakably Rolls-Royce. How is it possible that the Spectre, being all electric, seems to have this slight undertone of a bit of aggression, even if you want to say that? It's going to be interesting driving the car later just to see if any of that actually comes through. The door from this angle, you're probably thinking, hang on a second, did they let go of the umbrella because you don't see it? Don't worry about that, because it is over here. Make sure you always put it in nice and deep, otherwise it's going to get hurt when she closes the door, and that's going to cost about 7 grand to repair. Electrically assisted to close the door as well, because 1.5 meters, I don't think you'll be doing it that easily with one hand. And then of course a soft close as well. We'll talk a bit more about the side of the car in a minute. Let's first go around to the boot, and while we do so, behold the roof line curving all the way to the back from the windscreen, the top of the A-pillar, and incorporating the rear windscreen and the boot lid. Now, even though the boot lid is fairly large, I was very surprised to see all our equipment lying in the back. But this is reality TV and not an advert. Babe is calling you, Josh. The boot space, even though it goes in quite deep, is obviously a little bit limited, and the reason for that, as you can guess, is because you have a battery. It is an electric car, and that's always the case with these batteries they lower down in the car, so that space is just missing. It's time for us to have a look at the interior. I'm going to open up this side for Josh to come with the camera, and I'm going to jump in on the other side. Things have changed here on the interior. We have completely new seats from Rolls-Royce, and of course you can also have them in different colors. Speaking of different colors in the interior, we at Spofec, Novitec, we can also personalize the interior of your car. So if you would like to have different kind of material inside, different stitching, whatever the case might be, we are able to do that for you. Now in here a couple of things have changed, and probably the most dominant thing in here is our starlight headliner with all these stars in the ceiling. It's almost not possible to think of a Rolls-Royce without your starlight headliner, but there is now the addition of starlights in the doors. Not just a few either, 4,796 starlights in the doors alone. I think for now that's really enough said. I'm going to talk to you guys about the rest of the good stuff when we take it out for a drive, and I think that's what you're very curious about. What does it feel like to drive an all-electric Rolls-Royce Spectre? Let's go. That is the sound of absolutely nothing. Driving this car is literally one of the wackiest experiences that I have had in my time as a motoring journalist. I promise you, it's taken me out of the concept of the texts that I have prepared and the thoughts that I wanted to share with you, because normally I don't drive the cars until I literally get in here with you guys to experience it live. But today we were driving all over the place to film here and do the talk and go there for flybys. It's been phenomenal driving the car before I sit here and speak about it with you. Very briefly, because we don't have too much sun left, let's talk about the Spectre in all of its splendor. Big question comes up, right? Electric Rolls-Royce, people are asking, how far are you actually gonna get? Well, you got two kind of truths. You've got the measured truth of WLTP figures that tells you on a full charge and optimal conditions and the right driving and so on and so forth, you will reach 500 to 530 kilometers with a full charge. I haven't tried that, I don't know. We've done all the filming today. It started with, I think, about 280 odd kilometers range left. I am now on 213. We haven't been cranking it, we haven't been giving it the beans, as I'm about to be overtaken by a BMW that is indicating. You indicate, brother, love. Let's carry on with the rest. So the acceleration, it is beautiful. I'm not going to say hardcore or crazy, even though those are not entirely untrue, but it's more about the way that Rolls-Royce have wanted to bring that about. We know the nature of electric cars, right? You have instantaneous power and torque, all of that acceleration. That's not what they wanted to achieve here. They didn't want Aunt Susie to spill her expensive berry juice on her dress just because you thumped on the gas pedal, the electric pedal, the fast pedal. This is about easing into it, and it's the smoothest takeoff that you would find anywhere. Nobody can achieve that with a clutch. Then if you go past, I think, 2/3 of the pedal depression into the carpet, it really will lift off. Now, how about the drive? fantastic. Rolls-Royce just doesn't care about the weight. Other people do crazy efforts to shave off some of the weight of the car. Rolls-Royce just throws in 100 kilograms more of sound dampening material. Of course, you got the battery flat at the bottom that also helps and keeps the noise of the road and the tires outside. So in here, exceptionally quiet. I cannot transmute to you enough how quiet it is in here. I love the new design of the hood in this. I really love it. It's just that you don't really see the Emily popping in and out as you usually do. It's not such a sense of occasion. I don't know if maybe they would have made it just a tad bigger. That would have been good, but nevertheless, she's been revamped and she's getting all the glory because she's sitting right there up in front. This car has the most sophisticated air ride system available to any of the Rolls-Royces. It honestly is just mental how this car can iron out any uneven bits, any undulations in the road. It's incredible. You can hardly believe that you seeing something in the road, you pass over it and you don't know what happened. It was hilarious when we drove before, we were filming and Josh drove and there was a cat crossing the road and he really drove carefully. And he said, "Get out of the road, Kitty, because in this car, I won't even feel it if I drive over you." And that is a God's honest truth. Unfortunately, you will not feel it. It is so good. And then you go through a little corner thinking like, oh, am I a little bit too fast? And the way this car goes through that corner it's bloody great. It really is great. It's something you wouldn't expect from a Rolls-Royce in the way that I know them. That shouldn't sound bad, but I think it's down to the fact that the battery is so low down, so the center of gravity is so much lower in this than what you would, for example, get in, the Phantom Series 2 or a Cullinan or whatever the case might be. And we're driving 24-inch SP3s. We're driving a lowered suspension, and the comfort in here flies past everything I've ever experienced in any of the other Rolls-Royces. Now this car makes a noise. It's a fake noise that it plays into the cabin as electric cars do. Some have had different opinions on it. One said it sounded like a horror film. Somebody else said that it sounds like it comes out of a spaceship or a Star Trek movie. When you accelerate, you hear it. Oh! Wow, that is wild. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am to be back on the channel. It's phenomenal. Thank you so much for sticking it out when I wasn't there and enjoying what Maurice and Josh have been doing. Anyway, we've got some exciting stuff coming up this year, really exciting stuff. Purasangwe, a lot of the crazy Ferrari stuff. I can't tell you yet. In 2 or 3 weeks time, we're heading off to Dubai. We're going to be driving insane cars over there. Anyway, so keep your eyes peeled onto this channel, and if you would like to subscribe, then feel free to do so. Otherwise, wait until next time. If you haven't followed us yet on Instagram or TikTok, you can do so. Me personally at Beyond the Cork, Novitec at the Novitec Group. And until next time, just enjoy the last couple of meters with this absolute gorgeous car back to the office. Wow. Brand new Very good. Good read. Wow. Mental. Mental. I think there might be enough light for us to still go and do a POV. Adios.